During the height of the Cold War, the United States undertook one of the most unusual military engineering projects ever attempted: the construction of a hidden city beneath the Greenland ice sheet. Known as Camp Century, the base was officially presented as a scientific research endeavor, but behind the scenes, it was connected to a secret military scheme codenamed Project Iceworm. Built deep within the Arctic ice during the late 1950s and early 1960s, the project reflected the Cold War fears of nuclear conflict with the Soviet Union and demonstrated both the ambition and the limitations of military technology in extreme environments. Hello, this is Russell, and welcome to Anything History. I find this era of Cold War history fascinating. It was a time when both the Soviet Union and the Western Allies were engaged in a kind of game of nuclear chess, with each side looking to gain an advantage over their opponent, even if it meant going to one of the most inhospitable places on the planet and building a city under the ice. Camp Century was built in northwestern Greenland during the Cold War, when the United States sought new ways to defend against a possible Soviet nuclear attack. Military planners believed that Greenland's proximity to the Soviet Union made it an ideal launch site. Officially presented as a scientific research station, the base also served as a cover for the secret Project Iceworm, an ambitious Cold War plan to hide nuclear missiles beneath Greenland's ice sheet. Military planners envisioned a vast underground, rail-connected network that would continuously move ballistic missiles to make them harder for the Soviet Union to detect and destroy. The project ultimately proposed an enormous system spanning roughly 52,000 square miles, with about 60 launch sites, 600 missiles, and 11,000 personnel. The construction of Camp Century really was on another level. It demanded extraordinary engineering talent in one of the harshest environments on Earth. Temperatures averaged from negative 19 degrees Fahrenheit in the winter and 46 degrees Fahrenheit in the summer. Beginning in 1959, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers carved trenches into Greenland's ice sheet, covered them with steel arches, and buried them beneath the snow to create an underground network of tunnels. The base included living quarters, laboratories, a hospital, recreation areas, and other facilities, which gave it the functionality of a small underground city. Being in a remote environment, workers had to contend with extreme cold, blizzards, a challenging logistical situation to say the least, and frequent equipment failures. The one thing that made building this city under the ice possible was nuclear power. At the heart of Camp Century's development was a portable PM-2A nuclear reactor, which supplied electricity and heat to the underground base. The reactor powered lighting, laboratories, communications equipment, and a heating system. It also eliminated the difficult task of transporting large amounts of fuel across the Arctic ice. Its use reflected the technological optimism around nuclear power that was prevalent in the 1950s and 60s. Beyond its secret military agenda, Camp Century functioned as a vital hub for Arctic engineering and climate science. Researchers studied Arctic geology, climate, glaciology, including drilling some of the first deep ice cores. These ice cores preserved ancient climate records and later became a valuable tool for understanding long-term climate change and atmospheric history. Both Camp Century and Project Iceworm ultimately failed due to environmental and political challenges. The Greenland ice sheet proved more unstable than originally thought, making it impossible to maintain the planned tunnel network for missile deployment. At the same time, Denmark had not been fully informed on the military use of the site, putting the Danish government in a very uncomfortable situation. Camp Century was abandoned in 1967 and gradually buried beneath the ice, while the true purpose of Project Iceworm remained secret until 1997, when revealed by the Danish Institute of International Affairs. An interesting footnote in the story of Camp Century. In April of 2024, NASA scientists rediscovered the underground city buried beneath 100 feet of ice in Greenland. Researchers were able to use advanced radar technology to pick up signs of human construction buried beneath the ice. Although Camp Century failed as a military project, it remains an extraordinary example of Cold War ambition and experimentation. It demonstrated the lengths to which the United States was willing to go in pursuit of a strategic advantage over the Soviet Union. At the same time, it revealed the limits of human engineering when confronted with the power of the natural environment. Today, Camp Century is remembered not only as a secret Cold War base beneath the ice, but a place where scientific information and research helped expand humanity's understanding of the Earth's climate and polar regions. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does help the channel out.